gonna be like a little quick thing. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but it is what it is. So, if you didn't know, I'm turning 20 in 3 fucking weeks. Holy shit. Basically, in this video, I just wanted to explain how I really feel going into my 20s, and hold on. How I really feel going into my 20s, and how I'm dealing with it, how I'm processing everything. So, I have to be completely honest. I'm not feeling great about it. These past 2.5 weeks have been absolute mental torture for me, because 3 weeks ago, I had a pretty bad mental breakdown, and I cried for 13 or 14 hours straight. I was overwhelmed. I was very distressed, and obviously, along with my anxiety, my depression is ramped up as well. So, during this, constant attack from night to day, with no sleep whatsoever, I have to be honest, I felt suicidal during that time, because I was just so, my brain was like scrambled eggs. And what I mean by that is that it was in pieces. I couldn't. It was once whole, and now it's in pieces. And even though these pieces were once whole, I can't seem to put them back together. And mental breakdowns for me are always severe and pretty bad and tiring and distressing for me, because your body's working overtime. You're constantly stuck in this fight or flight mode, except it's kind of both at once. Your body's trying to fight this, but at the same time, it's trying to calm down. And as it's trying to calm down, it's pushing back everything I'm feeling at the same time, and it kind of causes like an earthquake, where it's these two pieces, and they try to work together, but they just collide with everything. And it was very distressing. It always helps when there's a reason to why I'm feeling this way, but in that moment, there I think because there wasn't a direct reason to where I can pinpoint this all to, it was more overwhelming and more distressing because I'm trying to figure out why I'm feeling this way, but I can't because there's no reason, there's no effect, there's no cause for that. And so I'm trying to find this cause, but at the same time I'm trying to calm down, and I can't. So during this work, I actually stressed myself into a chest infection. I never thought that could happen, but I did it somehow. And with that chest infection, it kind of gave me something to focus on. I was getting my lungs and everything right and healthy again, and constantly not in my head as much as I was. But there were times where, like, see, I have coping mechanisms and everything, but a lot of the times they're not real coping mechanisms. They don't help me, they just distract me. And I guess you can argue that distracting is a coping mechanism and does help, but it only helps temporarily. During that time, I was sitting there, and I was in that chair that's behind me for a week straight because it was the only place I could feel relaxed and normal. And I guess for some reason when I laid down, that was a trigger to me. I don't know why. I don't know what the reason was for that being, but it was. And so I think with that, I could lay down, but I could adjust how I laid down. And I was constantly watching YouTube, the same few videos, because if I tried to watch something else, again, that was another trigger for me for some reason. I don't know why, but I tend, especially in that time, I tend to have a very fragile and sensitive mental health state, mind state. And what that means is it's not what you think. I don't get like offended by any little thing. It's just my mind is constantly looping in itself, and while it's trying to unloop itself at the same time, but it just causes like knots, like blockages in between, so it can't fully figure out, it can't fully, you know what I'm trying to say? It can't, it can't go straight. Can't figure out anything. It can't straighten out. It can't straighten out and undo those knots. So it's constantly panic. So, even though I was sitting there and distracting myself with YouTube and everything, my mind was still on overdrive. And so, even though I was distracting myself, I was also kind of disassociated with the world, and I was in my mind, and because of that, it just caused a harder situation to deal with, and that made it hard to heal and everything. Luckily, I'm over my chest infection. I finished my medication that was supposed to take like about a week ago. So far, I'm doing good. However, this heat and humidity and everything, I'm still having a hard time breathing, obviously, because of the heat and humidity. But my lungs don't feel as, like, pushed down as they were. Like, basically, like an elephant was sitting on your chest. I don't feel like my lungs or vocal cords are caked in mucus and everything, so that's good. Glad for that, because I was very sick of coughing, and I was coughing to the point of where I would dry heave, which wasn't pretty. But yeah, I think mental health is a big part of turning 20 for me, because I just got here. I didn't even think I would live to be 20 to see my 20s, and I'm not joking about that. That's a fact. That's a whole other video for another time. If you want to feel depressed, I'll go do that video for you, and you can watch, and you can be like, that explains a lot. Because there's a lot of things that explain a lot. But yeah, I'm good right now. Like, I didn't take any medication for my mental health during that time, except for like these gummies, not edibles. I don't do that. But they were like these calming gummies that you take, and it relieves like stress, and it calms your body down and everything. So those took a while to work. They didn't work 100%, but they worked to the point where I was able to think clearly. I was able to be like, okay, like, I'm feeling this way. I realize that I'm feeling this way. And now's the time to start the process of healing. And a big thing I realized was that I need to make more human connections in real life, because often I meet a ton of my friends, and even a couple boyfriends of mine. We're not together anymore, but it is what it is. I'm happy being single. I'm happy doing me, fuck relationships. When it happens, it happens. When I'm in the right time in life, the right one will happen. But I think I relied on the internet a lot for like a substitute of human connection. Because I'll be honest, I don't get out that much. I don't meet new people that much. So that's a big thing for me now, is like, I realize that I have I realize I have these close people to me that I met on the internet and that I'm very grateful for, and they are my friends. However, it's not, even though the full friend is there, the human connection is missing. So I think these 2-3 weeks have been like realizing like, okay, you have this person, but but you need real human connection. So I've been teaching myself, and I've been getting pretty good at it, of realizing that even though I'm talking to these people, and even though they can be called my friends, they're not, I need real human connection. And I've been focusing on not getting too attached. Obviously, they're my friends, talk to them almost every day, but I'm not getting as emotionally and mentally attached to them. So that's been a big help for me. That's been a big thing. Yeah, so I feel like my real friends are the ones I have from school, and they are okay to be emotionally connected with because I'm emotionally and mentally connected with them in real life. So even though I don't see them as much as I would like to, because one, I don't have a car and I can't go and see them whenever I want, and two, them alone are, their parents are kind of like strict on who they hang out with, but I am very glad that they are my friend and that I have the memories we have together. So, hey guys, if you're watching this, I love ya. So, can't wait to see ya. Hopefully we can hang out soon. There's a lot of shit that needs discussing. Oh, love my friends. But I feel like a big thing for me has been realizing that my sister's friends are also my friends. Because I feel like even though they're her friends, like I feel like they're her friends specifically, and I can't really be friends with them. Even though we're all adults and dealing with all the same shit, even though I'm a young adult and I don't know shit about shit, I have to realize that it's okay to be friends with them and that they're there for me just as much as they're there for my sister and my brother-in-law. And it's been hard to grasp that because I don't know, when I see them, it's great, we have a great connection, but for some unknown reason, I can't reach out to them. Like, I know I can, like, generally, I know I can reach out to them if I need to, but I don't know, I just don't feel like I can be like, hey, here's what's going on. Even though I can, and even though they told me it's okay to. And I have to work on that. That's a big thing I have to work on. Because they are my friends. They are my friends. And I just have to realize that, Like, they're my friends. But I have to realize that first, that they're there for me. And they worry about me, and they care for me, and love for me, and want the best for me. So I have to realize that. So that's a thing I'm currently working on, but it is what it is. I'm working on it, but at the end of the day, it's what you make of it. I'm glad they're in my life. I really am, because I feel like without my sister and brother-in-law, and especially them, my sister's friends, and my friends, my family, I wouldn't be alive today. And I wouldn't be making this video today. So, that's a thing I have to realize. So, now to the turning 20 part. a big reason for my mental breakdowns lately is because July is a really hard month for me now. Because if you don't know, a week before my birthday, I was assaulted. And over this past year, it's almost coming to the 1 year mark since that happened. And even though I've been doing good at healing and everything, I feel like because that's approaching, it's bringing back all the trauma from that. And I think a really hard thing for me was I trusted him with everything. I told him everything, and to have that happen and to realize that this person just wants to take advantage of you for sexual tension, for sexual reasons, it's a really hard thing to come to terms with. Because I felt like he was one of my friends and a part of my friend gang, and he wasn't. He's just trying to take advantage of me that whole time. And I think another hard thing for me with that is not only did I know him, but my brother-in-law and his friends knew him as well. And it's kind of, that fact is kind of a bittersweet fact because I'm fucking disturbed that he was that close. And he was just... The fucked up thing for me is the question I keep asking myself, and will probably ask myself for the rest of my life, is how many gatherings and how many events has he been to? And I was there and he's been there, and I didn't even realize it. Like, how many fucking events has that happened? I realize it might be 0, but I can't help but think about that. So that's been a big trouble for me. And when that happened, I felt, and I still feel, like it was my fault. Which, I mean, partially it was. It was my fault because I made the choice to talk to him and to tell him everything, and I put myself in that situation. Like, I went along with, oh hey, let's meet up, it'll be a good idea, because we are in the same location as each other at the time. And I have to get through my head that I didn't know what happened was gonna happen. You know, I wasn't like, oh, he's gonna try and take advantage of me. And he's gonna take the last bits of innocence that I had away. And when I told the cops, I pressed charges. I pressed all the charges possible. You know what? It's been a fucking year and they didn't do a goddamn thing. They didn't do a goddamn fucking thing. They just put me on the record. I hate throwing this fucking word around, but it's not justice. Being put on the record of being a victim of him is not fucking justice. It's not right. I've been waiting to hear something for a fucking year now. And you know what I got? Nothing. That's the fucking justice system for you. I gave him my statement. I gave him a photo of him. I gave him what happened. And they just brush it off. Like, I'm on the side of law enforcement. I love them. They're fucking heroes. But you know what? Sometimes they suck. This is one of the times. And it's not just me. It's thousands of other fucking cases and women that and men that they have let down because they promised them they would do something. They promised that they would catch him. And they didn't. I even showed him the fucking street he lived on. And yet they didn't do a fucking thing, right? Yet they're just letting him roam free, assaulting and possibly raping other underage girls. I'm not homicidal, but I swear, if murder wasn't a fucking crime, I would take care of that son of a bitch myself. It's not fucking right. And to know that he's out there walking around, roaming free, it's not fucking right. And for the rest of my goddamn motherfucking life, I'm gonna have to constantly look over my shoulder to make sure he hasn't followed me. I lock my goddamn door every fucking night. And you know why? Because I'm afraid to wake up every day. I'm afraid to wake up every day and think, is this the day that he's gonna come and do this to me again? Is this the day that he's gonna actually rape me? Granted, knowing guys like that, he's probably forgotten all about it. But then again, probably not. And then again, he's probably still searching for me and trying to find me on every single motherfucking thing possible. Now I know my brother-in-law, his friends, my family, my sister's friends, my sister won't let him get to me. And I realize that, and I'm fucking grateful for that. I fucking love you all for that. But I still feel alone at some points. I still feel vulnerable. Even talking about this, it needs to be talked about, and it needs to not be shied away from. But But apparently, sexual assault isn't a big deal. Apparently, a traffic stop with a guy with a bag of drugs is more important than getting a rapist. Welcome to the fucking world. You know what? Other third world countries have the death penalty, and even like years ago, they would cut off anyone's fucking head for suspecting that they were druggies. And if they were rapists, you better watch the fuck out. They didn't get a chance to walk away. They were killed right on the spot. Now why don't we fucking have that? I realize that maybe some people think, oh, that's not right. But you know what? It needs to be fucking right. It needs to enter the justice system again. Victims need to have a choice on what their fucking assaulter's fate is. You know what I would choose? Death. Because I'm not the first girl he's done this to. He's done this to 12-year-olds. People like that don't feel any fucking remorse. People like that are the reason we can't trust anyone today. Okay. Before I say something, let's move on to another topic. 20. I'm excited to turn 20. I'm excited to enter my 20s. At the same time, I'm a little scared. I'm a little terrified. Because there's this stigma that's going around that's like, oh, by the time you're 20 or by the time you're 30, you have to have this, and this. And if you don't, then you're a failure. You know what? I know not to listen to that stigma, but it's still there. In the back of my mind, it's still there. It's like, you're not doing good enough. You're failing at life. Why even try? I realize not to listen to that, but it's still there. And you know what? This month, from here on out, from this video posted, I'm not gonna let any of that shit get to me. I'm gonna do things the way that I want, at my pace. And you know what? If I get overwhelmed at something, that's perfectly fucking okay. Because you know what? Life's fucking confusing. Life's scary. Hold on. Do you mind? Okay. What was I saying? Life's fucking confusing. And I don't have my shit sorted out. You know what? That's perfectly okay. Because life is scary, life is uncertain, life is confusing. I say life is uncertain because it can be uncertain for the good or the bad. Life can be uncertain. I'm kind of happy that it's uncertain because I feel like if I knew the answer to everything, that would just make me more overwhelmed. Because in order to, like I explained this a couple of days ago to my friend who was going through some shit, and I said life is like a fuse box. You have to, in order to get to the root of the problem, in order to get to the answer, you have to go through the problem, and you have to flip switches and be like, does this work? No, it doesn't. What's this for? Is it for this? Nope, it's for something else. And until you get to that closure and clearness, you have to go through the root of the problem to figure it out. All in all, life's pretty good right now. I mean, I am currently working on getting my diploma, my GED, and I'm on a good path right now. And you know what? If you think, you know what, I don't agree with your path, well, fuck you, because it's my path, and it's my story, and I'm laying the bricks down where I am going to go in life. If you don't agree with that, that's okay. You have your own path. All paths don't match. No two paths are the same. We might make the same decisions, but it's not the same story. It's not the same author. Well, that is how I feel about turning 20. And this month, I'm not gonna let that assault or anything get to me. I'm gonna power through it like I do with everything. I've been through worse shit. I've been through good shit. I'm gonna work on my mental. My mental health is better, by the way. It's much better. I'm happy. I've been really happy these past few days. So that's it. I made this video in case you yourself are turning 20 or turning 18 or whatever, or if you yourself just need some clarity in life and are going through some shit. Everything is going to be okay. You're gonna get through this. It seems impossible now, and you might be like, yeah, light up the tunnel. Psh, that's bullshit. But I'm gonna take a quote from Nick Valentine from Fallout 4. Even though the night just got darker, it's not gonna last forever. You're gonna come out on the other side and you're going to be okay. You're gonna make it.